Okay, so far we've concentrated on segments and lines, perpendicular bisectors, copying a segment, all that. What we're going to do this time is work on angles, okay? So we're going to do two different types of angles. The first type of angle, ouch, just hit this. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, so the first type of angle that we're going to do is an angle bisector. And so I want to remind you what that means. So an angle bisector, when we have that, the angle bisector is the line, okay, that is cutting this bigger angle into two equal pieces. Okay, so an angle bisector cuts an angle into two congruent pieces. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to make a copy of an angle, okay? So we're going to have this angle, and then we're going to use the compass, and we're going to make a second angle that's the exact same measure, okay? Not a protractor. We're not going to measure the angles. We're just going to use our compass and straight edge to make an exact copy. So let me share my document camera again. Here we go. And let's get started. So again, I'm going to do both methods with this type first, and then we will switch to the other type. And so if you only have this, I guess you could just fast forward if you wanted to. But, you know, I think I'm funny, and so maybe you want to watch the whole thing. Just kidding. I know you don't. It's okay. All right. So we're going to start with an angle bisector. So first, what we have to do is we have to have an angle to bisect. And so sometimes on your worksheets, you might have an angle already, but if you're just doing a bunch of practice, it doesn't really matter what the angle is because the process is the same. So just draw a variety of angles to practice with. Okay, you can draw some acute angles. You can draw some obtuse angles. So here we go. I'm going to draw two, demonstrate this with two different types of angles. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do this one. And I probably should have put them further apart, but we're just going to go with it. Okay, so we're going to do this one first, then we're going to do this one. All right, I'm going to label this as angle A, B, C. And so my first step is put my compass on here, and I'm going to draw an arc that hits both of these lines. Now, it's usually best to make it a fairly small arc to start with, and I'll show you why in a moment. So I'm going to make a fairly small arc, putting my pencil in here and getting through both of these. Okay. Now, these intersections we're going to label. We're going to call this one X. We're going to call this one Y. All right, next, I'm going to put my compass at X. I'm going to make an arc out here to the side. Okay, and so I'm putting it on X. I can make it kind of any length I want. I just want it to be like out here kind of in the middle. So it doesn't really matter. Just once you pick, leave it there. Draw a fairly decent sized arc. I'm going to do the same thing from Y, but this time I'm not going to change my length. I'm just going to use that same setting. I'm going to draw this. And my goal is obviously to get that intersection point, okay? Just like what we've been doing, we're getting these intersection points. And this, my friends, is our last step. Kind of went under there. Be more careful. Okay, so I'm going to name this Z. And what we can say is that BZ, that's a ray, right? It starts at B and it keeps on going. BZ is the angle bisector. Whoops, V. I don't know why I wrote two. The angle bisector of angle ABC, so the whole thing. Okay, now we could also say here that ABZ, the angle ABZ, that's this top one right here, this one, is congruent to angle. You can say it ZBC, or you can say CBZ, I don't care. Okay, and so we could make that other little arc mark there. All right, let's do it with this obtuse angle because it just feels different when it's an obtuse angle. I'm not going to make all the letter markings this time, but I'll show you the intersections that we're going to do. Okay, so our first job here is to make that little arc that we're going to work from. So I'm setting this at the intersection, the vertex, and I'm going to make a little arc over here. Oh no, I'm running into my clipboard. How am I going to fix that? I did not think about that, guys. Okay, this is going to be ugly. Okay, but I found it. It's like right here. I don't know what to do. Y'all, I'm a mess. I'm just going to estimate. It's gross. Deal with it. I'm hitting this thing, so I can't like swing it. I'll be more careful next time. Okay, so then from up here, okay, we're just making another intersection. I don't know. Right over here is good. I'll kind of extend it a little bit since I'm broken and I keep running into my thing. I'm going to do another one from this intersection, same length. Okay, I was actually fine. And here we go. So I'm at the vertex to the intersection. And so now we have an angle where this angle is congruent to this angle because it's the bisector. Cut it into two equal pieces. I'll come back to the other compass, but let's go ahead and do some copies of angles. So congruent angles. So again, for congruent angles, if you're making a congruent angle, we have to have something to copy. So I'm going to start with just making a basic angle over here. Okay. And again, it will work the same for an obtuse angle. So I'm going to do that as well. But this time I'm going to be smarter and stay away from the clipboard clippy. Okay, so we'll do this one first, then we'll do this one. All right, so same process as before. To start with, oh wait, no, different process because we're making copies of angles. We need to have a ray to use. Okay, so this is going to be like the bottom of our new angle. Wow. Okay, so this is going to be the bottom of our new angle. We're going to go ahead and label this as A. Let's label this as B. These are our two starting points here. Okay. Just like we did do last time for real is that we made an arc here. So we're going to make an arc here. And we're going to make that same arc over here without changing any settings. Pretty arc. Okay, so this arc is the same as this arc. We didn't change the radius where this was. Next, we will make a change to our setting because what we're going to do is we're going to measure from down here at the bottom to this other intersection. Okay, so I'm on the intersection. I'm going to bring it over here. Well, I can mark it too if I want to. It's kind of how it's written, I think. Oop. So that's my measurement. I'm going to bring it over here. And that's my measurement. And so, of course, we always, once we end up with those intersections, we draw a line. Okay, so now this angle is congruent to this angle. All right, same process down here for the obtuse angle. So I'm going to draw another line. They're going to kind of run into each other because this one's going to come out this way, but that's okay. I'm going to make a fairly small radius here. You can see this got just a little bumpy there. Yours are going to do that. These are slightly finicky tools. I'm not going to be mad. It's going to be okay. Promise. I'm going to pull this off the clipboard. That would have been smarter earlier. There we go. So same arc. And now I'm going to use this to measure. Okay, so I'm measuring from this intersection over here, right here, to right here. So I'm exactly on that, and I need to find where that other one is. There it is. Okay, so I'll put my finger here, make a little arc, come over here, make a little arc. Oh, this one I didn't quite make big enough, but looks like I caught it anyway. And now I have my line to draw. So this angle is the same as this angle. All right, let's switch to the other compass. I'll do an example of the angle bisector on this one. So I'm going to use my pretty bookmark. Got to have an angle to start with, otherwise I can't bisect the angle. So there we go. I think I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because it's kind of hard to do this kind of compass when you're doing small arcs. This is a nice, like, medium-ish one. I'm going to put this on the intersection and draw a little arc. Okay, this is the angle bisector, so my goal is to get a line through the middle here, right? And so what I need to do here is I'm going to open my compass up just a little bit more. And I'm starting at the bottom one, although you can start at the top. It doesn't matter the order. Make a little arc out here. Go up to the top one. Make the same arc out here. And now I'm going to connect my lines, my points. So from the vertex out here to this intersection point. So this angle is the same as this angle. Oh, let's do the other one. We're going to do the angle copy here. So let's get an angle that we want to copy. And then I want a straight line somewhere that's going to be the starting point of my other angle. Okay, so I'm going to start with making my small arc here. I'm going to make that just a little smaller. All righty. From the center, making an arc. I'm going to make the same arc over here. Oh, I moved. Got to be real careful. I think I moved again. It'll be okay. All right. And now I want to use my compass to measure, right? So I need to make this quite a bit smaller. I think I'm going bigger. All right, that looks pretty good. So I can make a quick little arc down here. And I'm upside down. I need to turn my compass on. Ah, it wiggled. There we go. So now I have my vertex. I'm going to line my vertex up with this intersection. Oh, so this angle is the same as this angle. If we had labels here, we could say that this is A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and we could say angle A, B, C is congruent to angle X, Y, Z. Okay. All right, I think that's it for this one.